What is this?
That is hardcore. Oh my god.
Did you drug me?
Is that
I like how
necessary?
you pretended to be impressed with the bottle, like you can tell the difference between sherry and Amontillado.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
Hey guys, we are here. We're back with another episode. Well, the series finale of The Fall of the House of Usher. One thing that I want to talk about is that it completely changed my mind. Like I said, Mary McDonnell is doing an amazing job. So is Willa Fitzgerald with their performances. There was just seemed to be like, I don't know why there was a disconnect for me as far as the young version and the old version of Madeline. But the more I watched, because I watched the other episodes, the more it makes sense. Like I can see now the line. And there's like similarities between like the mannerisms and everything. So yes, I completely changed my mind about that. So I just wanted to say that. Also, um, last episode, because you guys know that I love visual storytelling, and one of the things that I loved about the series is the use of color. I mean, there's a lot of things that I loved about the series, but I really love how Mike Flanagan used the colors in the story of Mask of the Red Death and applied it to characters. And I'm actually doing a video talking about all my thoughts because I have so many that I just need to make a separate video about it because, yeah. And I talk about the colors and specifically Frederick's because I did notice something last episode as I was rewatching it that was really interesting. Because every color, if you really look at the symbolism behind the color, it makes sense for the characters. But there was something about Frederick's color that kind of threw me off because his color is blue. And usually, blue represents birth, which makes sense because he's the firstborn. But there's also calmness and melancholy. And I was just like, But if you notice, Frederick is like super calm at the beginning. And he's the character that kind of has a change throughout the series. Like at the beginning, he seems to be the most calm one. Yeah, like he doesn't seem to be evil or anything. He seems to be kind of useless, but he's like super soft. Like he doesn't seem to be very like hostile. The only time that he shows hostility is when he was with Perry, telling him to stop being a fuck up, right? But for the most part, he seemed to be very soft. Um, he's the only one that defended Juno, right? So, and eventually he became probably like the worst one, which I found really interesting. And the fact that he died in the same place that Perry died, it kind of comes full circle. And the thing that I was noticing is that when during his death sequence, the blue starts to change and it looks almost purple. And I don't know if it's just to me, but I find it interesting that he dies in the same spot that Perry dies, and Perry used to be red, right? And purple is a color of pride. And it also, in some cultures, represents opposing forces. So I found that very interesting. But like I said, I'm going to talk about all this stuff in a separate video because there's a lot. About like the colors and just different references and just my general thoughts about everything. But yeah, I need to finish the show in order to talk about it. So let's just go for it. I want to know what the deal is. I still think they made this deal with Verna, and the whole family has to pay for it somehow because it's not just them that are dying, but his kids, which means that he sold their soul or something. I don't know. Um, so yeah. And I still feel like we still have to find out what is behind the wall, which if you know the cast of Amontillado, then you kind of know the story. And I have a feeling that it's kind of like Rufus because he's like the main guy from Fortunato, that they probably killed him and they just buried him behind that wall. Let's see if we're right.
Again, just the US.
I seriously don't know how
Again,
people can
just a guess.
sleep, Olive. live with themselves.
But we know better, don't we? Millions, Roderick. Millions.
Name your price.
Oh, sweetie.
Still,
are funny.
oh my god, still doing that shit.
The numbers are already locked in. There's only a few more.
Oh god. Ah, Jesus! Oh, you bastard.
Accident, but it's important he died upstanding.
No,
He
fuck
brought
it.
your mother home to care for her. Who knows what she might have done to herself in her current
Are you
state.
serious? No.
Did he? She understands his family
Look at
pretty
her
well, and I
face.
promise you, after I talk to her,
And if you think you're coming near her with another pair of pliers over my dead body, you fucking ghoul.
Yes. Protect your mom.
I'd like to make another statement.
Well, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Did you tell him yet?
not yet.
Tell me what?
With
Figure
Freddie
out.
gone, the board went up. There's no easy way to say it.
Yeah.
And Freddie gone, they need someone to step in fast. After Vic,
Wow,
just
he
good
feels so
math.
ashamed.
Wasn't that? It was equal parts math and mercy. But like you said, my math was good.
Doesn't matter, Madeline.
Well, obviously not,
She
because
wouldn't
it
let me
didn't
die.
work. Yeah.
Just flashed the whole life in front of them, and they picked me. Of course they did.
Yeah, wow.
And when they showed up at my door, I looked at them and I saw myself. But whatever if their mother had, I just couldn't live without them.
Which, sorry, I know, but it's an emotional scene, but it makes sense for Freddy to show up because, like, every ghost has been, like, super angry at him, right? But Freddy was the only one that changed tactics. Like, instead of coming like a ghost, like an adult ghost himself, he showed as a child, which I found that interesting because you could see the innocence in Freddy and how basically, like Roderick was like just talking here, how he basically destroyed that, just throwing money at them and just removing everything that Annabelle taught them or any glimpse of her and her goodness from them. So that is just like, it makes the scene where he was holding little Frederick and then, you know, it turns out that he's like dead. It just like, it's just so sad. It's like a bigger kind of torture, right? It's like, look who I used to be and what I became because of you. Not to justify Frederick because he made his choices, but in reality, things could have been so much different if Roderick had just left him with Annabelle Lee and stopped having kids.
Less and less of them came back each time until one day they were empty, they were siphoned. You started filling them up with... What did you fill them up with, Roderick?
I don't know, greed? I don't
What
know.
did you have to fill them with?
Jesus.
Because you weren't rich, were you? Maybe they died in their childhoods.
Oh, shit. Is that self-inflicted?
What did you do? What the fuck were you
God, she
thinking?
killed herself?
You.
I have to go.
Here he is.
Stupid.
No, I do.
This is
I
a real
don't know
Roderick.
you, Roderick. The man I know, the man that I love, could... I made him up.
Oh. That's
For
a
the
powerful
moon
statement.
never beams without bringing me dreams.
This music. God, I'm getting emotional. This score is amazing.
Just scratching our nerves.
together. Roderick Usher, the future of Fortunato!
That you and Roderick came up with it together and you just played your part.
No, I may have already said that.
Shocking.
That's not even a lie. And there is not a single person, friend or foe, who does not know that. Okay? Let's have another
Yeah.
drink.
Way ahead of you.
Maybe
You're Sherry man.
he shouldn't have done that.
Holy shit.
Oh, uh-oh.
That's good. Hey, no. Don't be shy. Bottoms up. Let's go.
I'm gonna savor it.
Oh,
Hit the head real quick.
Yeah, go.
they didn't drink it.
I will dismember you and fuck each piece. Do you hear me?
I don't think you're gonna do any of that.
Somebody! Okay. You two,
Wow,
holy
this
shit.
acting.
You got me. You're real ballers, aren't you?
No, thank you.
Listen, when I'm impressed,
I can be the magic man. I can change things for you.
Here's the thing, Rufus. Roderick threw himself in front of the feds, took the bullet, and got everyone in the clear, but that doesn't mean...
Okay.
Wow. I'm just like
I never
blown
should've
away
let
by this
Roger take
acting.
the
And
fall
you
for
can
this,
see the desperation
right?
on his face.
That's what
It's
this
just
is, isn't it?
amazing.
And you're right. That was fucked.
I was thinking COO.
Yes, fuck. Yeah, okay. Why not? I mean, that'll, take a minute, but that's a great goal. Long term, right?
Long term.
Stop. Okay.
And those are the bells, right? Yeah.
That candle lasts you about an hour or so, then I'm afraid you're in the dark.
Like, what do you even do? Like, oh. It's like she's reclaiming that insult, right? The same insult that Annabelle threw at her. So it's like she's like, Roderick's such a puppet. Like,
Smaller venue.
it's so.
Neighborhood, bar. Something like that.
Just to see
Louder.
I know.
the change in his character. Well, not really. Like,
So where do we go now?
she's been an empty shell
Fur
this whole
coat
time.
inside.
But money where your mouth is, what would you be willing to do?
This
For
is the
example,
moment.
what if I told you right now that you could achieve all the success you ever imagined? Killed Rufus Griswold tonight, didn't you? And you're here building an alibi.
Wow.
This bartender would say you were here all night. But close the place and then some.
That
What
would
if I
freak me
said
the hell out. Like, how do you
I
know
could
this, bitch?
guarantee- What if I said you get all that, the whole thing, and the price is deferred? Let the next generation foot the bill. So that's the deal. You get the whole world, and when you're done, at the end of it all, just before you would have died, Roderick, just before you would have died anyway, your bloodline dies with you. You came into this world together, you go out of it together, or no deal. I'm a creature of symmetry.
That's
You
where
live
she
a
was
long
trying to
time.
find that loophole.
Longer than any man in the Usher family ever has. But when that curtain falls,
Sorry, I didn't mean to pause on this, but like, because since she said when you are about to die anyway, so she figured, okay, if we just get to the last thing, right? He's supposed to be like the last one to die, basically. So if he just dies, then maybe it will jump me, just like a Final Destination kind of thing.
what's more loving? 40 years, 50 years of
Look how
a
she's selling
gilded
it.
life, or 70, 80 years of anxiety, tribulation, and heartache? Every Usher that exists today.
It's a good deal.
That's a done deal.
Then say it.
Wow.
You have a deal.
Even
You
she's
too,
shocked. Like,
Cleopatra.
I don't even have kids. This is his thing.
that's why she never had kids.
And then later, papyrus. But a deal's a deal.
The age.
All
Oh.
over the world. Tonight, we'll just drink. But
no. Fucking lady.
If they had done exactly what they pretended to actually want to do, yeah. If they had done exactly what they said they were wanted to do, then maybe their deaths wouldn't have been so tragic. Like, I feel like every kid, and even them, like, they all died. Their deaths were the way that they were because of their choices. Like, every single time she made them this like offer, or they gave them a warning, right? You can stop it, you shouldn't be here. Victorine had a meeting with this woman like 3 times, and she kept telling like about how she didn't want to do it. She had some doubts. Have you talked to Dr. Ruiz, right? And Victorine kept telling her like, yeah, it's all fine, it's all dandy. With Leo, it's like, oh, you shouldn't take that cat, can you just take another cat and it should be fine. Like saying, okay, why don't you just tell your boyfriend, hey, I accidentally kill your cat, but here's another one. Things like that. I feel like their deaths would have been better. Even with Freddy, it's like, it could have been anything. It could have been an overdose, right? Camille could have died quietly in her bed, but this had to happen. So yeah, it's interesting. Also, I find it interesting, like right here, like the wall is not finished, so I wonder if all the stories or like everything that's gonna happen with them was written down. Like, remember with Madeline when she went to the bar and it was full? Like, I wonder if all like their whole like destiny or their fate was just like painted in there. That I don't know, I think that's cool.
We remembered it differently. It was if Foley had a delusion shared by 2.
Interesting. It makes sense why he was in
and
such
then we
denial.
never talked about it again. They never found Grizz, the cops never came, the board voted me in, and the work began. Ligadone began.
This score, man. Oh. Oh. Is she playing him? Because there's no way that he's gonna do this. I mean, Madeline broke her neck and she was fine.
Wow, that was amazing. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. You had your little guy parked out there for 2 days.
Did she just want to see how he worked? Like,
I had the best seat in the house. Your reputation is warranted.
Wow. It's very interesting that she still like respects them. Like, she told Madeline, "You're my favorite" or something. You're right, and she seems to really respect what he does, which is really like killing people and doing all this stuff, which kind of goes hand in hand with the poem, like the city in the sea, because you know. If you think about Madeline and Roderick as death building a throne for themselves, and Verna as hell giving death reverence, hell still has to swallow death and take over, but at the same time it has this respect for it, which kind of, is what's happening here.
Like I said to one of my clients, when I'm done, you can stand in the middle of 5th Avenue and shoot somebody, and it won't cost you a thing.
This is tab coming due anytime
Really?
soon. Even I've got my limits.
Oh my god.
Fortunata Pharma will be dissolved in a bankruptcy settlement. The family trust will turn over $4.5 billion, including federal settlement. Barely scratches the surface, but the surface alone will get you 20 to life.
The
It gets
surface
found,
alone.
or it doesn't. So you can either ride the phoenix out of Fortunato's ashes, or you can watch it fly away from a federal prison cell. This I can do.
I have no collateral. Collateral is leverage. And I won't be leveraged. No man or woman has leveraged me in 70 years of life.
That is kind of sad.
And
This has been a pleasure.
Carla Gugino is a goddess. She's amazing.